Real quick before this video starts, I just want to say thank you guys for the recent support on this channel. We are so close to hitting 12,000 subscribers, so if you could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Let's get into the video. Sansa Stark greets Daenerys in the same way as Ned greeted King Robert in Season 1. The actor who plays Tormund actually flirts with Brienne in real life. Actress Gwendoline Christie revealed her co-star remains in character off-screen. He will start, chewing a sandwich wildly at me, really kind of making love to that sandwich as he eyeballs me, she said. The actor who plays Tommen Baratheon actually appears earlier in the show playing Martin Lannister in Season 3. He was recast for Season 4 as Tommen. Similarly, the actor Jefferson Hall plays Hugh of the Vale in Season 1 of Game of Thrones and also portrays Jason Lannister in the House of the Dragon. In every season, except the 7th, at least one monarch dies. In Season 1, it's Robert. In Season 2, Renly. In Season 3, Robb. In Season 4, Joffrey. In Season 5, Mance Rayder and Stannis. In Season 6, Tommen. And in Season 8, Cersei and Daenerys. Peter Vaughn, who played blind Maester Aemon, was actually partially blind in real life. The actor passed away peacefully in 2016 at the age of 93. Charles Dance, who plays Tywin, had a scene that required his character to skin a deer, and he worked with a butcher to learn how to actually do it while filming. He said it's the craziest thing he's done on the show. The butcher arrived with a dead animal, and they gave me a little room to work in, he said. They gave me a sharp knife and showed me how to skin it and spill the guts into a bucket. Renly Baratheon has his own Kingsguard that includes Brienne. In the novels, they're known as the Rainbow Guard, but HBO elected to not use that name as it could be interpreted as a jab at Renly's homosexuality, which is only subtly referenced in the novels but made explicit in the series. President George Bush is in the show. Though it wasn't intentional, the showrunners acknowledged it in Season 1 DVD commentary. The last head on the left is George Bush, they said. It wasn't a choice or a political statement, we just had to use whatever head we had laying around. They later apologized, and HBO issued a statement doing the same. One actor played 5 characters in the show. Welsh actor and stunt performer Ian White played a White Walker in Seasons 1 and 2, the Mountain in Season 2. In Seasons 3 and 4, he played Dongo the Doomed. In Seasons 5 and 6, he played One, or however you pronounce it. And finally, in Seasons 7 and 8, he played the White Giant taken down by Lyanna Mormont. Ron Donachie, who plays Sir Roderick, and Daniel Portman, who plays Podrick, are father and son in real life. Prince Oberyn Martell's death, where the Mountain crushed his skull with his bare hands, was supposed to be much more gruesome. One edit showed the Mountain actually digging in his fingers and pulling the Red Viper's face apart. Kit Harington broke his ankle in 2012 when he was locked out of his apartment building in London and fell while trying to climb to his flat. During Season 3 of the show, the crew had to figure out how to shoot around the injury, including the use of stand-ins in Jon Snow wigs. Harington felt so guilty that he bought the production manager a bottle of whiskey. Sophie Turner adopted the dog that played her pet direwolf on the series. We kind of fell in love with my character's direwolf lady on set, Turner said, and her mom persuaded them to let her adopt the dog. There was a rumor that prior to being cast, Lena Headey, who plays Cersei, and Jerome Flynn, who plays Bronn, had been in a relationship that ended in bad terms. Each had a clause inserted into their contracts that they were never to share scenes and must remain apart on set. Flynn, however, stated that this is not true, saying, "We were actually in the same scene together, and the last time I saw Lena, we were speaking, so I wouldn't believe everything you read." Nevertheless, Bronn and Cersei are only together in one very brief scene on the show, and all their direct interactions happen off-screen. In 2012, over 160 baby girls in the US were legally named Khaleesi after the character on the show, although it's not her actual name, just her title. The actor of Hot Pie actually opened a real bakery based on Game of Thrones. It's called You Know Nothing John Doe. George R. Martin intended to write an episode for each season, but did not write one after the 4th season because he was busy focusing on finishing the 6th book of the series, The Winds of Winter. Grand Maester Pycelle's elderly and feeble demeanor is actually an act, briefly alluded to in a scene from Season 1's finale. It shows Pycelle doing a series of stretches, and you can see here he's standing up straight, but right before he leaves, he slouches again. A deleted scene between Pycelle and Tywin shot for the 3rd season shows Tywin seeing through Pycelle's charade, and again he switches to his normal posture and speaking cadence. Both Emilia Clarke and Lena Headey have played the Terminator Sarah Connor. Clarke starred alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator Genisys, and Lena Headey played her in a short-lived TV series, Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Tyrion Lannister was supposed to fall in love with Arya, according to Martin's original outline, but she doesn't love him back. His passion is unreciprocated, but no less intense, and it will lead to a deadly rivalry between Tyrion and Jon Snow, the author wrote. Jon Snow's cape from the Night's Watch was made from an IKEA rug. Michelle Clapton, who oversaw a team of anywhere from 70 to 100 costumers each season, revealed that several of the show's capes are made from IKEA rugs. Carice Van Houten, who portrayed Melisandre in the series, was originally asked to audition for the role of Cersei. I thought the Queen would be a great part, and they asked me to audition, but I couldn't do it because I was shooting something else, she said. Iwan Rheon, who plays Ramsay, was the runner-up to play Jon Snow and was later cast as Ramsay. Alfie Allen and Joe Dempsey also auditioned unsuccessfully for Jon Snow, but were later cast as Theon and Gendry. The show was banned by the Turkish military in 2014. It was deemed unfit for young soldiers due to sexual exploitation, abuse, harassment, and all negative behaviors. There's a pattern for character deaths in the show. Ned beheaded a deserter and later gets beheaded himself. Tywin Lannister ordered the deaths of Northern Lords via crossbows and later gets executed by Tyrion using a crossbow. In the Red Wedding, Roose Bolton drives a dagger through Robb Stark's heart, and Ramsay then returns the favor. Catelyn Stark's throat was slit on Walder Frey's order, and Arya then returns the favor. Jon stabs Qhorin Halfhand, and he's later stabbed by the Brothers of the Night's Watch. Olenna used poison to kill Joffrey, and she's later poisoned by Jaime. Littlefinger puts a dagger at Ned's throat, and Arya Stark uses that same dagger. Ygritte killed Ollie's father with an arrow, and she's later killed by Ollie with an arrow. The average cost of production per episode of the show up to Season 6 was around $6 million, with the most expensive being Season 2, Episode 9, Blackwater, which reportedly cost $8 million. However, HBO decided to set a budget of $100 million for Season 6, which meant each episode of the season had an average production cost of $10 million. This put the show on par with Friends as the most expensive television show of all time, although most of the budget for Friends went to the stars' salaries rather than the production. The first season of The House of the Dragon pushed the envelope even further with a production budget of nearly $200 million, an average of almost $20 million per episode. Executive producers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss stated that when the show began, they set a rule of no prophecies, dreams, or flashbacks. All three rules were eventually broken with the inclusion of Bran's dreams of the Three-Eyed Raven, prophetic visions in the House of Undying experienced by Daenerys, and a flashback scene to Cersei's childhood. Each one of Daenerys' dragons is named after someone she'd lost in her life. Drogon, the largest dragon, was named after her husband Khal Drogo. Rhaegal was named after Daenerys' brother Rhaegar Targaryen, who was killed by Robert Baratheon in the rebellion. Viserion was named after Daenerys' abusive brother Viserys, and she claimed that she named her dragon this because Viserys was cruel and weak, but yet still her brother. Kit Harington showed up to his audition with a black eye. The night before, he ended up in a McDonald's late at night with a woman he was dating, and because it was crowded, they grabbed a seat at a table with another couple whom they didn't know. The man across from them began making rude comments to Harington's date. Unfortunately, it was only after Harington stood up and challenged the stranger that he realized just how tall the guy was. "I got battered," he said, and ended up with a fresh black eye. A gelatin heart was made for the scene in which Daenerys must consume a horse's heart raw. Although it was safe to eat, Emilia Clarke said it tasted like chlorine and raw pasta, and was still foul enough that her facial expressions and gagging while forcing it down required no acting for the camera. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment, and I will catch you guys in the next one.